from its eyes. Puffy monsoon clouds held the promise of rain. In a palatial home, just off Chaurangi Lane, a baby boy was born to Swarnalatha Ghosh. His father called him Aurobindo, the red lotus, a flower that is known for its gentle, consciousness-altering effects. Dr. Krishna Dhan Ghosh had no idea how much his baby boy would go on to alter the consciousness of the nation and the world. The baby grew up to be Sri Aurobindo, scholar, freedom fighter, poet, sage. Sri Aurobindo, now too expansive to be encompassed by labels. In what may not have been a coincidence, but an underscoring of one of Sri Aurobindo's original life purposes, 75 years later, on the very same day, India awoke to light and freedom. We gained our independence from the British, shrugging off 300 years of oppression and exploitation, with multitudinous sacrifices that were forgotten along the way. Sri Aurobindo's involvement with the freedom movement may have been a spiritual stepping stone for him to the next stage, but his efforts, like those of millions of others, were what led India to freedom. On this monsoon afternoon in August, 150 years later, Sri Aurobindo Society Maharashtra celebrates the 150th birth anniversary of Sri Aurobindo. Significantly, it also marks the 75th anniversary of independent India. Tied to Sri Aurobindo's path on the way to sagehood, the gift of independence was the most fitting birthday present one could give to this patriot of the soil. Presenting the Hour of God, a collective endeavor by the Mumbai devotees of Ma and Sri Aurobindo to show our love for our gurus. Mumbai is sprinkled with so many of us who are connected to the Mother and Sri Aurobindo. You recognize them from a pendant, a t-shirt, a sticker on the back of a car, a keychain, a ring, a look in the eyes, and know that they are connected to our masters. For the first time, the devotees of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother in Mumbai have come together to celebrate this momentous occasion of Sri Aurobindo's 150th birthday. This event has been lovingly curated by the devotees and inspired by Sri Aurobindo and the Mother's vision, their work, and their writings. Though most of us are not professional performers, we believe that the Lord and the Mother are working in us and through us. So we will be resplendent, because today we are channels for the divine. With all our love and sincerity, we invoke the Mother and Sri Aurobindo to flow through us and through our performances. In Sri Aurobindo's words, love is the keynote, joy is the music, knowledge is the performer, and the infinite all is the composer and the audience. We begin this magical evening with a joyous musical offering by a devotional music group led by Srimati Aparna Mitra of the Sri Aurobindo Society, Mumbai. The accompanying musicians are Jnaneshwar on the tabla, Atul Sharma on the flute, Pratik Shah on the keyboard, and Uday Pathak on the octopad. The music has been arranged by Anupam Malik. Our lovely singers will be presenting a song dedicated to Sri Aurobindo, one to the Mother, and the last one to Mother India. Allow these devotional and inspirational chants to flow through you and to link you to the essence of our gurus and Mother India.
My जगन्नाथो मद्गुरुः श्री जगद्गुरुः मारात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः।
सत्यं ज्ञानं ज्योतिररविन्द सत्यं ज्ञानं ज्योतिररविन्द
देवारविन्दं परमेश्वरा योगशक्तिः संवृता सर्वशिवसुन्दरा सत्यसारा वात्सल्यवारिधे विभास्वररत्नरम्या त्वां मातरं भगवतीं सततं
has a place of distinction because, unlike any other planet, it is evolutionary with a psychic entity as its center. In it, India in particular is a divinely chosen country, the Mother.
Ours is the eternal land, the eternal people, the eternal religion, whose strength, greatness, holiness may be overclouded, but never even for a moment utterly cease. The hero, the rishi, the saint, are natural fruits of our Indian soil, and there has been no age in which they have not been born. Sri Aurobindo.
We now invite on stage our chief guest for the evening, Sri N. Chandrasekaran, Chairman of Tata Sons, Sri Pradeep Narang, Chairman of Sri Aurobindo Society, and Sri Krishna Dikshit, Chairman, Sri Aurobindo Society Maharashtra. We now request Sri Pradeep Narang, Chairman of Sri Aurobindo Society, to address the audience.
Can we come there?
Oh, sure, if you prefer.
First. Such beautiful music, so elevating. It's difficult to speak. Before this last mantra which was read out and sung, Dilip Kumar Roy's poem, and before that somebody spoke some beautiful lines, and what she said was that this is a unique country. India is a unique country because India evolves in consciousness. And it is so true what Sri Aurobindo has said on the same subject. He said, God chooses a country for a special manifestation. And in this yuga, it is India. After the descent of the supramental consciousness in 1956, this has come true more and more as time passes. This is truly the hour of God. This young lady who chose the subject, who chose the theme of this event today, Hour of God, is truly intuitive. Because it is not just the hour of God, it is also the hour of the unexpected. Things that are happening are not unexpected, are not expected. And some very beautiful things are taking place, taking shape. And the mother, in one of her talks, very clearly stated that the time is coming very swiftly, where with our physical eye we could see the changes taking place. And this is a period where these changes are going to take place. And this change is inevitable. There are difficulties, bound to be difficulties, oppositions, because there's a divine play involved here where there is an opposing forces which plays a role to block the divine forces. But the ultimate trump card is held by the divine, and he wins the battle. It is for us to choose which side we stand. It is for us to choose how much we want to collaborate. Do we collaborate with a happy heart? Or does the collaboration take place through crashing circumstances? If we are open and if we want to collaborate, that yes, we are on the right side and we are on the right side of the evolutionary consciousness, we will win the battle. And I am today deeply, deeply joyed to have Chandrasekaran ji today as the chief guest. It's a unique event. His presence with us is a unique event. I say unique because we've had many big, great people come to our events. We have chief ministers, we have prime ministers, we have had presidents of India, we have governors, etc. But we have never had Chandrasekaran. So welcome. Truly welcome here, sir. It is the 150th year of Sri Aurobindo's birth anniversary. It is the hour of God, and it is truly appropriate that you are with us today, sir. And you welcome joyously.
We now request Lakshmi Devra, chairperson of the Sri Aurobindo Society, to felicitate the chief guest. Lakshmi Devra will also now felicitate Mrs. Lalita Chandrasekaran. Could we request our chief guest, Sri N. Chandrasekaran, Chairman of Tata Sons, to address the audience, please?
Good afternoon to all of you. on this auspicious occasion of the 150th birthday of Sri Aurobindo's birthday event and the 75th year of India's independence. It is my honor and privilege and great blessing for me to be part of this event and share a few words. When I was first approached to be a chief guest for this event, I hesitated a lot and I was very reluctant. And I said, I'm very happy to come. Please invite me to attend the function. I'll be very happy, but don't call me as a chief guest and ask me to speak, because it's going to be very hard. And it is very hard, let me tell you that. What am I going to say about Sri Aurobindo to the devotees of Aurobindo here in the city of Mumbai, because all of you will know a lot more than I will be able to share. Then they insisted, and I thought it is a divine connect, so I accepted. My own connection happened a few years ago by strange coincidence to the mother. So during these last few years, since then, I have started learning about Sri Aurobindo, the teachings, and about the mother. Had the opportunity to visit Pondicherry. So I am a very young student of Sri Aurobindo. And it's fair to say the personality that he is, that he has been, as it has already been said and as many of you know, he was a nationalist, philosopher, a rishi, a visionary, poet, and many more. Probably a lifetime is not enough to understand the life and work of Sri Aurobindo. The mother has said Sri Aurobindo's birth is eternal birth. And Sri Aurobindo himself is supposed to have said that my life is not for men to see from the surface. He believed it required people to develop inner capability through yoga to even start to begin to understand the birth and life of Sri Aurobindo. So it's not going to be easy for us to think that we'll be able to fully realize the life and work of Sri Aurobindo in our lifetime. But nevertheless, what is important is the process and the attempt to go through that understanding, the journey that we will go through can be immensely powerful. And I believe that will have a tremendous impact on who we are. And the transformation that it will have on oneself in terms of self-discovery of oneself, one's own capabilities, and help us evolve. Anything materialistic, however hard it may seem, is not that difficult to achieve. Anything spiritual, however easy it may look, is very difficult to achieve. So I believe there is a lot to be gained through this process of discovering the life and work of Sri Aurobindo. And the work that is being done by the Sri Aurobindo Society is just truly remarkable. But what is required is for many institutions to replicate that, because we need substantial scale to be able to make the kind of impact that the world needs. And I don't want to take much more time. Those are the words I wanted to share. I really feel blessed to be part of this event. And thank you all for listening to me.
Thank you, Sri Chandrasekaran and Sri Pradeep Narang, for your lovely words. Aspiration, rejection, and surrender are the spiritual principles behind Sri Aurobindo's integral or Poorna Yoga. Our spiritual journey involves three movements: an ardent aspiration for the highest and deepest and largest truth, a fierce rejection of the falsehood and pettiness that pulls us down, and a childlike, loving surrender to the divine grace. The mother once talked about a spiritual complacency that sets in when we think, oh, everything will be done for me by the divine. I need not do anything at all except glide along the stream of time. No, the mother said categorically, this is never true to fact. Nothing will be done for you automatically. But wherever there is a flame of aspiration burning bright in the sadhaka's heart, the grace of the Divine Mother cannot but respond. As we walk together, supporting one another on this grand adventure of consciousness, journeying through the phases of aspiration, rejection, and surrender, we invoke their love, power, and blessings through Poornam, a musical offering of raga, chants, and harmonious singing in different styles. It has been made even more special by the magic of the daddy-daughter relationship, presenting Sri Harendra Khurana and his daughters Kamakshi and Vishala. The accompanying musicians are Jnaneshwar on the tabla, Pratik Shah on the keyboard, Uday Pathak on the octopad, and Tatiana Kritskaya on the cello. These melodies are sometimes lyrical, sometimes inspiring, sometimes meditative. Allow the music to seep in, to touch your heart and soul, and to create a little door for the divine to enter.
His hidden possibility. Awake to all that slept within his heart and all that nature meant when earth was formed. And the Spirit made this ignorant world his home. He shall aspire to truth and God and bliss, aspiration.
a musical representation of the dilemma that one experiences during the time when mind, body, and soul goes through the process of rejection. A jugalbandi between our thoughts and actions, sometimes beautiful, sometimes laborious, but always intense, always leading to something glorious.
बरसन लागे नैन हमार, अंगारे हैं ठंडी बुहार,
सुने है मेरे आंगन द्वार, तुम बिन सुना
याद तुम्हारी आए, बेकल मनवा चैन न पाए, छाए कारे बदरवा छाए, कौन मेरे मन को समझाए। बरसन लागे नैन हमार, अंगारे हैं ठंडी बुहार, सुने हैं मेरे आंगन द्वार, तुम बिन सुना है संसार, ऐसी याद तुम्हारी आए, बेकल मनवा चैन न पाए, छाए कारे बदरवा छाए, कौन मेरे मन को समझाए। आ भी जाओ ना सताओ, आओ 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 बलमा, आओ आओ बलमा, तरस बिन जिया घबरावे, आओ आओ बलमा, आओ आओ बलमा। गम पद प प प, गम దని మ మ ధ గ గ మ రే, రే గ మ ద ని మ ద ని గ మ ద రి గ మ, గ మ ధ మ ధ మ ధ ని ధ ని ధ ని రి సా ని ధ ప ని ధ ప మ ధ ప మ గ రి సా, आओ 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 बलमा, आओ आओ बलमा।
Tanpura, please. Once the mother was asked, what is the secret of success in sadhana? To which she replied in one word, surrender.
Thich Nhat Hanh said, the key to creating a meditation practice is to create a space where the busyness stops. For many years, devotees from Mumbai have been dreaming of a space that could recreate the ambience and peace of the ashram in Mumbai city. In response to our collective aspirations, we have been blessed with a plot of land in Sanpara, Navi Mumbai. We request Kaivalya Bhai to introduce us to this physical manifestation of our collective wills and request him to give us some idea of the vision of Sri Aurobindo Society for this lovely gift from the divine to all of us Mumbaikars, and also to apprise us of the other activities undertaken by the Society both in Mumbai and in Pondicherry.
My sincere namaste to all of you here. Sri Aurobindo Sabhakti Pranam. And I'm going to talk to you today in a few minutes about Sri Aurobindo Society, its major activities, and what is happening in Bombay, and how we are blessed. We can start. We will remain quiet and just have the benediction and the darshan of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. Please. Sri Aurobindo Society. It's all about Sri Aurobindo and the Mother and spreading the message of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother in India and outside India. And this has been the main object given by the Mother to Sri Aurobindo Society. The Mother is the permanent president of Sri Aurobindo Society. The society was started and founded under her presidentship. Even today, the Mother is the president of Sri Aurobindo Society. The main area in which the work is going on, apart from the spreading of the message, is like this: education, teacher training, health, rural development, sustainable development, scientific research, management, Indian culture, books on India and Indian culture, CD-ROMs on Gita, youth and women, children, I have a dream workshop, media, arts and communication, business and economic development. And these activities are done at Pondicherry and in all the major cities of India, wherein we have different centers and branches. Patiala, Vadodara, Siliguri. I will not repeat the names, I will not speak loudly, just see the buildings. These are the centers of Sri Aurobindo Society, which are sprinkled over different cities in India and abroad. And this is not an all-covering list. And we come to the Bombay branch. You are all very much connected and aware of the presence of our Sri Aurobindo Society Mumbai branch at Sahkar. And you all have, in one way or the other, connected with the Mother and Sri Aurobindo through this place. The activities there are the devotional music group, Savitri study class at the center, and also a very fine activity for the youth, the Himalayan gang, wherein the high altitude pilgrimage trekking takes place every year. Sri Aurobindo has written a beautiful Upanishad in Sanskrit. And the title given to it is Sri Aurobindo Upanishad. At the end of the Upanishad, Sri Aurobindo writes, Anandam hi pravakshyami bhagavata deshitaha tamasam apaharitya ananda prakashatam tasya puttaraha. He says, I am going to talk about Ananda and Ananda only because I have received the Adesha from the divine. Bhagavata Adeshtaha. Because I have received the command of spreading delight, Ananda. That is why I am going to talk about Ananda only. And he requests that please renounce your slumber and bring forth the delight within you. I have a very, very good news to give to you. And that good news is that Sri Aurobindo Society and we all were having a long cherished dream of having the Mother's own house, Sri Aurobindo's own Bhavan in Mumbai. For years and years, many of you have met the Mother, and you have gone to Pondicherry, and we thought of bringing a mini Pondicherry in Mumbai, creating that ambience, creating that atmosphere wherein one walks in and one feels that the presence of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother is here. In Navi Mumbai, at Sanpada, SIDCO announced a scheme and Sri Aurobindo Society applied for it. And we have got a plot of land measuring about 936 square meters at Sanpada in Navi Mumbai, near Palm Beach Road. This is that plot of land. Whatever amount was to be paid to SIDCO for getting the possession of the land, for constructing Sri Aurobindo's Bhavan on the land, has been paid. The land is in our possession, the possession of the devotees of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother in Mumbai. Sri Aurobindo Society has started a new branch, Navi Mumbai branch. And we had the meeting on the spot to invoke the presence of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. And we worshipped and meditated there. Next. Next. And now the time has come to construct. The plans are there on the paper. We have to follow the timetable given by SIDCO. We have to submit the plans for approval before a particular date. And before a particular date, we have to finish the construction of the Bhavan. This is going to be something on the left-hand side. The bigger hall will be of the capacity of about 150 persons sitting together with the altar of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother, and the Mother permitting and Sri Aurobindo permitting, and our aspiration collectively getting response from the heaven, we would install the relics of Sri Aurobindo at this place. We are planning to have the atmosphere of Pondicherry, and the atmosphere of Pondicherry cannot be without the greenery. So we have planned not to use each and every inch that is legally available for construction, which would create a big building, but it would look like a corporate house. What we are planning is to leave some empty spaces and have all the facilities. Next. All the facilities of the plan. We will have an emporium, we will have guest rooms, we will have the relics room for meditation, we will have children's activity area, we will have common kitchen, we will have permanent sadhaks taking care, accommodation for them. Please change the slide. And on the shrine room, the meditation room, will be a big activity room wherein people connected with Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. Anaita is doing a wonderful work of spreading the message of Savitri. Anil Puri is doing a wonderful work of spreading the message of Savitri. If you want to have a retreat, why go anywhere else? Food facility, accommodation facility, area-wise, other facilities must be made available at the place that we are planning. Our own place, the Mother's house in Bombay. And this is the good news, and this is the story of the Ananda that I wanted to share with you. In the book, Thoughts and Glimpses, Sri Aurobindo writes, delight is the secret. Learn of pure delight, and thou shalt learn of God. And the Mother has said, the best way of expressing our gratitude to the Divine is to feel simply happy. We must express our gratitude to the Divine that the Divine has blessed us with a plot of land. And I invite you all to join hands so that a beautiful building comes up here. It is not a one-man's job. It is not a small team's job. And it has been a dream of all of us. please feel inspired. Please open to the light of the Mother and the command of the Divine, how you can help in constructing this wonderful thing in Mumbai. We will be contacting you, but we would wish that you contact us at Churchgate Center. And you are all aware that it is going to be a collective yajna. It's going to be a collective aspiration. It's going to be a blessing on the collective. Heaven's call is rare. Rarer the heart that heeds. This is a most wonderful opportunity that the Mother has offered to us to do something for her. She has been taking care of us throughout, all the time. Whatever we are and whatever we are doing, in fact, it is she who is doing. Now, let us all join our hands. Come forward large-heartedly and contact us. Someone connected with the work of designing has offered offering his service for preparing all the plans. Someone has offered their guidance for the construction. Someone might come forward and offer for the cement or the stone or the furniture or the coloring or whatever way you feel inspired. My request to you all at this moment is open up to this beautiful opportunity to do something in the name of Sri Aurobindo, in the name of the Mother, for Sri Aurobindo, for the Mother. Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's truly exciting news, Kaivalya. Thank you. Sri Aurobindo's play, The Birth of Sin, formed the conceptual keystone for the yoga dance drama, The New Dawn. This performance begins with the dialogue between Lucifer and the sun. Lucifer is one of God's brightest angels, who later opposed God in his quest for personal power. Lucifer, inebriated with his own sense of importance, seduces the sun into rising and setting at his bidding, rather than that of God. The sun represents each one of us in our origin, an embodiment of the divine light. Lucifer is the distortion of that magnified ego that prompts people into an egocentric, self-absorbed, power-hungry existence. This separation from our source pushes us into a space of darkness. The yoga ballet that follows is scripted to lines adapted from Sri Aurobindo's magnificent epic poem, Savitri. It depicts the Leela, or the play of light, losing itself in darkness, only to rediscover more resplendent dawns. The New Dawn, a yoga ballet conceived and choreographed by Anita Sanjana, narrated by Shanaz Pardiwala. The performers are young people who hail from varied professions, whose lives have been touched in some way by the Mother and Sri Aurobindo. Get ready to be transported to another realm with The New Dawn.
Master of light and glory, lift thy rays over the troubled floods. Lift up thy rays, obey me. Lucifer, who gave thee power over the gods that rule the ancient world? Or why should I obey thee? Art thou God? Hast thou dethroned the omnipotent from heaven and cast him down into the nether glooms? Revolting. Gave he then his supreme command? Speak as a servant then and minister, and not with the accent that controls the stars. Who then compelled thee from thy bright repose? Or wherefore hast thou come? By him compelled, before whose mandate tremble all the gods. By his or mine? That I will see. Rise, sun, and from thy luminous, majestic orb, cast out into the sure hold of space creative energy and pregnant fire whirling around thee while the years endure. Lucifer, son of morning, first in heaven, what madness seizes thee? What awful force, darkly magnificent, brilliantly ominous, looks out from eyes that own no more the calm? Obey! I cannot choose. Power leaps from thee upon me. I am seized with fiery pangs. Spare me, thou dreadful angel. I obey. Power to make and unmake the world. Power grows in me. I am omnipotent. Children of immortality, whose ranks and brilliant armies people the infinite. Creatures of wonder, creatures of desire. O suns that wheel in everlasting fire, O stars that soar the ethereal spaces thick, O worlds of various life, I am your king! This I have learned, that God and I are one. If one, then equal. Rightly too, I deemed that God develops, God increases. I, younger than he, am greater than the power from which I sprang. The new excels the old.
Held still in the grip of darkness, the sun intuits. if brutal masks are there and evil acts, they are incidents of his vast and varied plot. His great and dangerous dramas needed steps. He makes with these and all his passion play. A play, and yet no play, but a deep scheme of a transcendent wisdom, finding ways to meet her Lord in the shadow and the night. When darkness deepens, strangling the earth's breast, from the child's sun heart, a prayer beseeches the mother light. O wisdom's splendor, mother of the universe, creatrix, the eternal's artist bride, linger not long with thy transmuting hand, pressed vainly on one golden bar of time. As if time dare not open its heart to God. With the eternal might, one human hour, and with one gesture, change all future time. Let a great word be spoken from the heights, and one great act unlock the doors of fate. Give not to darkness and to death thy son. Achieve thy wisdom's hidden firm decree, and the mandate of thy secret worldwide love. The mother reminds the child's son, darkness, a magic of self-hidden light. This too, the supreme diplomat can use. He makes our fall a means for greater rise. This world was not built with random bricks of chance. A blind God is not destiny's architect. A conscious power has drawn the plan of life. There is a meaning in each curve and line. Then peace returned, and the soul's sovereign gaze immutable, undying and unborn, mighty and mute, the Godhead in him woke. He mastered the tides of nature with a look. He met with his bare spirit, naked hell. The two opposed each other, face to face. His being, like a huge fort of darkness, towered. Around it, light grew, an ocean siege. A pressure of intolerable force weighed on his unbowed head and stubborn breast. Light, like a burning tongue, licked up his thoughts. Light was a luminous torture in his heart. Light coursed a splendid agony through his nerves and left no room for his enormous will that seemed pushed out into some helpless space and could no more re-enter, but left him void. He called to night, but she fell shuddering back. He called to hell, but sullenly it retired. He called to his strength, but it refused his call. His body was eaten by light, his spirit devoured. At last, he knew defeat inevitable and left crumbling the shape that he had borne. Abandoning hope to make man's soul his prey and force to be mortal the immortal spirit. In some faint dawn, in some dim eve, like a gesture of light, like a dream of delight, thou just nearer and nearer to me.
The transformational dialogue between the incarnate Shakti of India and the half-awake Indian contains the resounding call to action, to rise, and to surrender our mundaneness, our smallness, our slumber to the hour of God which is here, and to awaken to the destined greatness that flows in our veins, that brews in our soil, and that beckons in our cells. 8 of the 99 shlokas of the original poem have been selected and rendered to music and dance. They recreate the clarion call of Bhavani Bharti. The English narration which precedes these slokas is not a verbatim translation, but one that connects the contemporary listener to the essence of the original text. Historically, Bhavani Bharti was written by Sri Aurobindo to fire India towards her freedom from the British. Sri Aurobindo's Sanskrit poem was confiscated by the British government soon after it was completed in 1908 because it was considered too incendiary for the time. Today, more than 100 years later, the relevance of these verses rings true, for the battle continues in our hearts, which are still oppressed by inner tyrants. Feel the power and potential of resurgent India in Bhavani Bharti, a dance drama envisioned by Kaivalya Smart, Alap Desai, and Salome Roy Kapoor. The performers, Jagrat Desai and Menka Deora, are both ex-students of the Sri Aurobindo International Center of Education, Pondicherry, and they will tap into some visceral and powerful emotions in their inspiring portrayal of Bhavani Bharti.
Lying at ease on a soft couch and dreaming of pleasures, enjoyments, and wealth, I felt on my chest the touch of a dreadful hand, and to my eyes grew visible the shape of Kali. Sukham rudavastarane shayanam भोगान वसुचिन्तयन्तम् स्पर्श भीमेन करेण वक्षः प्रत्यक्षमक्ष्णोश्च बभूव काली
Arise, give. The mother's thirsting call resounded through the night in the starless city. Thundering, the noble goddess filled with her presence the night's blackness and the hearts of men.
Uttishta, uttishta, Dehi, Dehi, Dehi. Uttishta Dehi Dipipa Suramba. Dadvan Ratrau Nagare Vitare. Stananti Rajanim Tamistram. Babhau Samapurya Manansi Charya.
Mother, O child, of the people of Bharata, India, the eternal people loved by the gods, whom neither hostile fate, nor time, nor death has the power to destroy.
Matasmi bho putraka bharatanam. Sanatananam tridasha priyanam. Shakto nayan putra vidir vipaksha. Kalopino nashayitum yamova.
Arise, awake, leave your ritual fires, for you are the incarnate luster of Krishna, the Supreme. Go forth, consuming your enemies with the fire that dwells eternal in your breast.
Uttishta bho jagruhi sarjayagnin. तेजोऽसि परस्य शौरे वक्षस्थितेनैव सनातनेन शत्रून् हुताशेन दहन्नटस्व
People of Avanti and Magadha, Vanga, Anga, Kalinga, O Kurus and men of Sindh, hear me. O Southerners, you of Andhra and the Chola country, you are the heroes of the land of the 5 rivers. I, the mother, call all of you, for all are my children. Shake off your slumber. Oh, listen to me. Break open your hearts and tear your egos from its bleeding roots. Offer that vacant space to me, for so alone will I be fulfilled, and so alone will you be great and free. Whom do you fear, O Indians? You are made of inviolable brilliance.
भो अवन्त्यो मगधाश्च बङ्गा अङ्गाः कलिङ्गाः कुरु सिन्धवश्च भो दाक्षिणात्याः शृणुतान्ध्रचोला वसन्ति ये पञ्चनदेषु शूराः
Let there be victory, fear not. Lo, I have awakened. Where is your bow of courage? Where is your sword of oneness? Arise, arise, O sleeping lions.
सनातनान्या वयभारतानाम् कुलानि युद्धाय जयोस्तु मा भैः भो जागृतास्मि क्व धनुः क्व खड्गः उत्थतोत्तिष्ठत सुप्तसिंहाः Hearing these words in the night and beholding in the darkness a dreadful splendor, my heart danced, and leaving my house, shaking off my pleasures, I quickly went forth to the call of the mother. Imani vakyani nishamya ratrau Tejascha bhimam timire vilokya Chittam nanartashu vihaya satma Bhogan vinirdhuya cha nirjagama
Awakened from his slumber, free from his shackles, and ready to sacrifice his comforts to fight for the tears and blood of his anguished mother, the Indian now witnesses the brilliant sunrise of victory, where the Creator Brahma and Mahabhavani, with the army of her enlightened children, win the terrible battle against the oppressing forces of darkness. In a thundering war cry, the nation offers its salutations to the Goddess Supreme, the Mother Immutable. Ancient, splendorous, powerful and sublime, she who protects and destroys is the Shakti. She is Bhavani Bharati.
Salutations to thee, O Goddess, vast in thy power, who carries us through our difficult labor and makes us victorious in our goals. Thou reignest as Bhavani Bharati, the Supreme Goddess, who rulest all this universe of animate and inanimate things. Tubhyam namo Devi Vishal Shaktye. Tubhyam namo भीमव्रते तारिणि कष्टसाध्ये भीमव्रते तारिणि कष्टसाध्ये त्वं भारती राजसी भारतानां त्वं भारती राजसी भारतानां त्वमीश्वरी भासि चराचरस्य त्वमीश्वरी भासि चराचरस्य as those who dwell in Shiva's sacred city of Kashi are liberated by the auspicious touch of the Lord. So all this Aryan country where the goddess has set her purifying feet shall be the Kashi of the world. Shivasya Kasham nivasanti eke Sparshena te tasya bhavanti muktaha Devyastu punyena padarpanena Sarvarya bhumir jagato bikashi
May this divine soil, where men are liberated by the auspicious touch of the Lord and the Mother, may we, the sons and daughters of the Sanatana Dharma, be the heralds of freedom and oneness for all humanity.
भारत माता की, भारत माता की, भारत माता की।
I request all the participants to come together on stage for our finale, the national song. And as the evening comes to a close, we cannot go without thanking all the wonderful people who made it possible. We quite disagree with Salman Khan's dictum that dosti ka ek vasool hai, no sorry, no thank you. We actually have a long list of people to thank. We may not be able to thank them all by name, but so many have given their time, resources, and energy to make this evening possible. You know who you are, and we hope you find yourself warmed by the love of the divine for all that you do, silently and with no expectation of a return. Besides this, our specific and heartfelt thanks also go out to Soundspace for coordinating and planning the whole event. For Ira Jasubai for opening her heart and sharing her gorgeous studio space with us, for the wonderful flowers that you see everywhere, and for supporting us every step of the way, and not to forget that amazing baklava. Seventh Sense Movement Center, thank you for lending us your space so generously for our rehearsals. Thank you, Darshan Savla, for organizing the photography and the videography. Tatiana for supporting the Khuranas on the cello. Sancho for providing the LED support and content. A heartfelt thank you to Kaivalya Bhai, who envisioned Bhavani Bharti. Thanks to Sri Alap Desai for composing and singing the mesmerizing music of Bhavani Bharti. The brilliant choreography and direction of Bhavani Bharti is by none other than Salome Roy Kapoor. We're extremely grateful to Alap Desai and Salome Roy Kapoor for creating this unforgettable rendition of Bhavani Bharti. Anita Mirpuri and Sushma Avatramani, many thanks for selflessly sharing your expertise in costume design, and thank you, Shubhika, for the makeup. Many thanks to Chitna Deora, Vedant Reshamya, and Priya Shah for their design input. We're grateful to Lakshmi Deora and all the core committee members for their continuous support and guidance. Once again, we thank the entire Mumbai fraternity of the Mother and Sri Aurobindo for the collective effort that made this event possible. And so much gratitude for the grace of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother that pervades us this evening and always. Our last item is our national song, written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee in 1876 for the novel Anand Mat. This song is inextricably tied to our freedom struggle. This version is a much more energetic rendition of the old favorite. Could I request all the young people in the audience to stand for the final item? Presenting Vande Mataram.
Shastra Shamala
And since no Indian celebration can be considered complete without food, let's top up today's celebration by heading to the Open Art Gallery. Please enjoy the special Kaju Barfi that has been brought in from Pondicherry as Sri Aurobindo's birthday prasad along with some other goodies, because today we're celebrating two very special birthdays, Sri Aurobindo's 150th and India's 75th. Thank you all for being here and for being such a receptive audience. Thank you to the Mother and Sri Aurobindo for bringing us all together.